Microsoft's thing was they said, look, NASA is using our VR stuff to explore Mars. And that Hyperland is a documentary made by colleagues of mine at the BBC in 1989, first broadcast in 1990. It's written by Douglas Adams, and here's the guy from NASA doing this VR.
So Douglas Adams of The Hitchhiker's Guide, and you may recognize Doctor Who.
Yes, Tom Baker, who was 81 yesterday. It appears in this much more sprightly looking as it's...
the fourth Doctor Who. So this is from what year?
89.
Wow, this is NASA using virtual reality.
Kind of medium resolution. And there's one for each eye. We look at those through very wide angle optics.
I've worn these. I remember going to SIGGRAPH. Remember fighting the dragon at SIGGRAPH with that helmet on?
Field of view. These optics give us about 120 degree with a true stereo.
It weighs about 8 pounds.
I tried one.
And here's what 3D's like, look.
Yeah, very high quality.
I played a sort of 8-bit video game and just about threw up.
But this was Jaron Lanier. This was the early days of VR.
Power low.
Yep.
And W Industries, you remember that?
Yeah.
The pterodactyl game?
The pterodactyl. That's not the dragon. The pterodactyl.
Yeah. So the founder of that's a friend of mine. He's over here now. I saw him over Christmas, and he says, "Oh, we're still doing interesting things in this space. Keep your eyes open for VR and AR." So I suspect he's been doing a lot of work on the optics of it.
Yeah.
And one of the challenges is not having these big opaque screens that are across your face, but doing the thing that Microsoft showed off today, where you've got some glass in front of your face that is about as opaque as the sunglasses I'm wearing, but is able to inject light in from multiple directions, so you can get a realistic overlay on the outside world.
I always thought that was the best way to do it.
But there's a bunch of really hard things to do with that, because if you do the classic headset thing like the NASA guy's wearing there, or like Oculus, what you're doing is you're putting screens there and using lenses to put them at infinity, and then your eyes have to relax and look at infinity.
Right.
Because you're creating a tension between your eye's sense of where it should be looking, because it assumes that it should be focusing closer for things when it's converging and so on. So your eye ends up with getting muscular strain as it's trying to resolve those things, and you often end up with a headache from that.
And if Oculus Rift makes you nauseous because of its poor frame rate, this thing, the frame rate on this is
it was terrible.
Horrific.
This stuff was very slow.
Yeah.
But the other thing was that what they're able to do now with optics is they're able to, by having multiple lenses and multiple light sources, actually produce light that is focused at different distances. So they can make it so it is. So it's like the what's that camera called that takes the photograph that's always in focus?